Here we are with another rim stove project. I have two rims I picked up at a garage sale. We're going to use the Zombie Command Center to go ahead and power up the tools we're going to use. So we have a grinder to cut the washing machine drum we have here. Got extra wheels and the wrench. We got us a drill driver. We got us some self-tapping screws, a hinge, a 90-degree bent into an S. We got our safety gear. We're going to get to this. We're going to make us a new style rim stove, no welding needed. And that's the project for today. It took me longer to get all this stuff together than it is going to be to make the thing. We don't need the center cap. So what we're going to do, we're going to set these in the profile of that, overlap them. I have some self-tapping metal screws that will put these pieces together. I get an overlap about the same all the way around here. That's looking pretty good. And then I'll cut a door, and out of the rest of that piece there, I'll make the door. So I'll cut an opening as big as the wood I'll be putting inside. And then I have the hinge that I'll be screwing to the door and the frame here. And then I have the latch piece that will sit on the back side. I just have to use a piece of metal to drop down into that latch then. So that's next. So this will recap what we've done here. We've got our donor rim. I have two of them here. We're making a rim stove. I've cut 3 of the panels out of the donor washing machine tub, and that is a front load washer. And I've cut a 4th panel to be able to cut a door out of. So what I'll be doing is putting these around the rim, pressing them in against the edge, overlapping them, putting in self-tapping screws to hold all that together. Sorry, didn't have enough overlap here. But anyway, I've got the self-tapping screws here. They cut their own hole, self-drilling, and put them together, then I'll cut my door for the size of wood I'll be using in this particular stove. And we'll do the next step. Okay, I took a minute to adjust it one set of holes over, and now it fits in there without fighting it, and that's really what I want. So now I'll be cutting a door in and using a hinge to hold that door in place. I think I'll go ahead and cut off a lot of this because I don't need a lot of the metal. This was meant for a wooden door. So I'll do that and I'll be right back. Just made the door, put the hinge on. I'm going to cut off those screw heads. I can find a nice spot there, mount this on the outside. The other piece of hinge goes on the inside. I found that works the best. So I'll get this marked out and we'll get it cut next. So I have the outline here. I'm just marking where I want to cut this. And like I said, I'm cutting this for the size of wood I'll be putting inside of it. So I'll get the generator started up and get that cut out for the door. Now would be a good time to make sure you get rid of the old air inlet. Those are rubber. You definitely don't want that smoking as you burn your wood. This door needs to be shaped in a little bit. That's fitting better. As it sets down inside quickly and easily, you don't want it so big that you have to fight it to put it in. And we won't be doing any welding because this will be what's called the dry stack. So get you one of these IKEA tools for putting furniture together. Go ahead and drill a little hole in one of the ends and put a brake spring on there. And then what I'll do is I'll line that up, see where that works. Go ahead and put me a screw in here. I'll have a way to open and close that door safely. That spring should stay nice and cool. We'll try that today. So I've been asked, can you rivet that on? Sure you can. Only thing is you better use a steel rivet. Aluminum will melt from the heat. That seems to work well. We can give this thing a try here when it gets dark, see how nice that looks. I know you were wondering, what am I going to fill the bottom with so the fire doesn't just fall through. We get one of these copper plates from Goodwill that'll fit in there. I'll put some screws in to hold that in place. That way it can get just, I'll leave it a little bit loose just so it can get some air up inside there. But that's all you need for an ash pan on the bottom of your rim. Good idea, huh? Well, there you go. I've got 3 screws screwed into the side of the rim, just barely sticking out. And that would be on the downside of everything, so I'll build my fire on top of here, and then the ashes will drop down onto that pan. But I think I'll put a mesh screen in here just to control that, what drops down a little bit better. Okay, I won't lie, I cut this out on my bandsaw, but it does snap into here. I left some of these tabs a little long, that way it'll hold it. Be able to build my fire right on top of that. And we'll have our door. And then our top rim. So I cut the top where the door would close against this off. That seems to make a nice base. Take and set that right on that ring. Fits nicely. Get our intermediate piece set up. Get our top piece put on. This is what's called dry stack. I'll be able to put my pan right there. We should be good to go. Let's get this all set up and fired up. So we're going to get this lit up for the first time. One thing you have to remember, you don't want to be cooking over this like your marshmallows or anything until that paint gets all burned off of there. And that's what I like about the style of screen around it. You can see flame all the way around the stove, get heat on the side as well out the top. This is where all the air comes from. Put it on high, I open it up so it gets more air. So after I'm lit and I want to control the fire a little bit, I can close that door. So this is going to work great. So here we are with our completed project. As you can see, get light all the way around this so it gets air in the whole way. You get the thing lit up well. But to review, I did use 3 full wheels on my grinder, and then I was on the 4th one, so you do need a pack of these cutoff wheels. This probably took me a half hour to complete, but it took me all day to gather up all the parts. I did find the rims, like I say, at a garage sale, so I got those for $5 a piece. They were a little rusty and the paint was gone. And it isn't going to make a bit of difference as what they get used for. This has a good pot stand on top to be able to put a stock pot with water. And last year we canned all our corn off the heat off of one of these. It does work well. Right now I am burning off the paint. Now, one thing about the Zombie Command Center, that the backstory to it is I got it for $400. It wasn't running. I have about $1,000 into it now. I had to take off the front of it. It had leaked, put new wood in it, put a transmission to run well. Like I say, I have put another transmission in it now. And the generator is what I bought it for. Like I say, I got it for $400, and the wife wanted me to get it running so we could go to the beach or the zombie evacuation that we might have to do. But having a stove like this to be able to cook with outdoors, doing the canning, like I say, we've cooked corn in it. We've actually eaten the corn straight off the cob, but we've got the corn ready for canning, and it did work well. We're really happy about that. But I do like, now that it's getting dark, you can see that better, how the whole middle glows. And that's what I was going for. Sitting here is almost too warm. It isn't that cold out, but having this base on the bottom makes it stable. And like I said, there's a pan, and I showed that to you, the pan inside there to keep all the ashes. And then I cut that intermediate screen and set down there for the fire to sit on. And this rim will go either way. I like it this way because it has a nice area in the center for setting a stock pot on to be able to boil water. And that's important if you're in an emergency situation where you do need to, you know, make your water potable. You can have a way to boil it and cook food. Well, like I say, right now I am just burning off the paint, and the way this is going to be used for marshmallows. But that's the new rim stove dry stack.